What's up, y'all? Welcome to the School of Divine Magic. Today I wanted to talk to y'all about spirit spouses. Now, this has been coming across my feed a lot lately, and I actually had recently had an experience with this because they say that you have a spirit spouse if they in your dreams you have a sexual dream with a faceless person. Let me say this disclaimer up front. This content is not for children. So this is for adults. So viewer discretion is advised. But back to what I was saying about the spirit spouse, they basically was saying, like, when you have the dream of the sexual dream of the faceless person, that's basically indicating that you have a spirit spouse. Also, if you are trying to form connections, and they say that people often ghost you out of thin air, like, the person just might disappear or stop communicating with you and it wasn't no reason to do so. Also, another symptom too for women is when you're having menstrual problems and problems conceiving and things of that nature. But how I want to get into it, you feel me, is this. Number one, we don't never mention, well, I haven't heard anybody mention in none of the vids that I've seen about basically, if you read the Apocrypha text, the apocryphal text, that it's a book called Tobit in there. And in the book of Tobit, Tobit's son Tobias, he marries Sarah, but the only way he able to marry Sarah is when he get help from Archangel Raphael. You know what I'm saying? Because Sarah has a demon, Asmodeus, right? And so that is basically, indication that spirit spouses have been around a long, long, long time. Like, they've been around. You know what I'm saying? And I don't never hear nobody, well, I rarely hear anybody mention, that being an indication that, spirit spouses have a long history, you know what I'm saying, of being around. So when you get into the spirit spouse thing, because it's a long rabbit hole, man, about spirit spouse. It's a long rabbit hole. um you know I think basically it's this, and I feel like the way to get rid of it, because I don't know if I'm making sense to y'all. I'm going off the top right now, but the way to get rid of it is this. I feel like, in my opinion, is if you try to date in a way that's not lustful, because I feel like the gateway to getting a spirit spouse is when you're operating in a space of lust, you know what I'm saying, and temptation and stuff like that. So if you know that you're a person that you're very lustful, or you're easily tempted by temptation, I feel like start dating people more in a way where it's like it's about being a companion and having activities, so you won't open that gateway to a spirit spouse. You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's something that probably could have made me end up having a spirit spouse, because when you try to have good habits, you still end up opening portals some kind of way, like we say, whether we watch certain things, read certain books, you know what I'm saying. If we're lustful, you know what I'm saying, you have no business looking at anything that's not of clean nature, nothing that's pure. You got to look at everything that's pure. Excuse me. You got to look at everything that's pure. You know what I'm saying? And fill yourself with, like, goodness, And so sometimes we make ourselves defile. That's the word. Sometimes we defile ourselves by or contaminate ourselves by watching, rated R movies, bad movies and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh, you gotta cut out everything like that's rated R or everything that's bad. It's just monitor how much how many days a week you taking this kind of content in, or these kind of things in. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you just can't sit there and do it all day long repetitively. Now, every once in a while you might go, well, I had watched comedy movies and I just laughed it up, but now I want to watch a rated R movie. So, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, use your discretion of how much negativity you're taking in on a daily basis. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But that's my opinion on how you can kind of cure it or get rid of it. And another thing, like they said, a lot of prayer, a lot of saying a lot of affirmations out loud, affirming that you renounce it and denounce that spirit. Um, and also, if y'all notice that the incubus and the succubus is one and the same. And what shows this, I don't think a lot of people picked up on that show Lovecraft Country, I think, or whatever. But it was based on H.P. Lovecraft. I think his name H.P. Lovecraft. He's the guy that wrote the spooky book, the Necronomicon, whatever, however you say it. But if y'all caught on, the character Christina Braithwaite or whatever her name was in the show, she was, I guess basically a demonic spirit or bad spirit or Lucifer or Satan or whatever. But see, when she was mating with one of the main female character's sister, she basically turned into a male, but she was predominantly a woman in the show, but she could also morph into a man. So you got to understand that the succubus and the incubus is the same thing. And if I have it correctly, before the succubus, it's the succubus first before it becomes the incubus, because once it mates with a man, then it has the power to transform into the incubus, the male. You know what I'm saying? The male version of that. So it's real interesting when you go down the rabbit hole. But I'm gonna have to do another whole video on the incubus and the succubus, because I don't know if I had it particularly right, but I want to break it down to a science. So I'm gonna have to really do that video on another day. But the spirit spouse thing, I will let y'all guys know that yes, it is very much so real. And the best thing for you to do is just try to purify yourself, as much as you can. Pray. It's a lot of subliminals and things like that that'll help you on these this YouTube right here. You feel me? Not on my channel, but other people's channel. You feel me? But I just want to speak on that because I have had that happen to me. And I just want to let people know that, yeah, it's very real experience. It's a very real thing. But I feel like the way to get rid of it is basically, like try to purify yourself the best way you can. I hope this helps somebody. And like I always say, may we remain infinite and a finite. Ashe.